And I now give the floor to the representative of the Syrian Arab Republic.
شكرا سيد الرئيس.
Thank you, President. President, 2 days ago, your Council reaffirmed its commitment to a Resolution 1540, which seeks to prevent non-state groups from possessing weapons of mass destruction and their means of production and vectors, including chemical weapons. This is a commitment that my country fully supports to put an end to the possession and use of chemical weapons by terrorist groups and the use of other weapons of mass destruction too. And we hope that this regime will be implemented more effectively. In this connection, I would like to share with you that my country's delegation has always provided information to the committees, to the 1540 committee and to the UN Secretariat on the possession and use of chemicals by terrorist groups and information on incidents that were staged by terrorist groups. We have shared information on the al-Nusra terrorist groups who possess toxic and chemical weapons and rockets that have been modified with chemical agents in Idlib. And the aim is to carry out a chemical attack on the Syrian army and its allies. And this came from foreign intelligence agencies. Numerous terrorists from the al-Nusra Front have been burnt and have suffocated when they had to carry containers with chemical agents in them in Idlib. President, my country's delegation listened carefully to the intervention of High Representative for Disarmament Affairs. She is still making incomplete statements which provide a one-sided vision of recent developments, including the fact that she ignored the cooperation of Syria with the technical teams of the OPCW. She also did not mention important information provided by Syria. Ladies and gentlemen, Syria has continued its cooperation with the OPCW. Thus, we presented our 90th monthly report on activities regarding the destruction of chemical weapons and chemical weapons production facilities on Syrian territory. Also, we're continuing to prepare to hold a high-level meeting between the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Expatriates and the Director General of the OPCW, focusing on an agenda for this meeting in order to managed to put an end to the bad practices undertaken by the technical teams of the OPCW. Also, I'd like to share with you a letter from the Syrian National Committee to the OPCW Director General. In these letters, we have reiterated that the Director General must respect the principle of professionalism, and the Technical Secretariat should respect the principles of professionalism and should avoid sharing any incomplete or false or imprecise information in the Technical Secretariat reports. These are information that's used by some adversary states to make accusations which have no grounds against Syria. Now, as regards the allegations that have been repeated by some states on the initial declaration of Syria, I would like to reiterate my country's position. We reject any attempt to call into question this declaration. We reaffirm the fact that the work of the declaration assessment team should help Syria. This is not investigation or team. I would also like to share with you what the Syrian National Committee shared with us during the 24th cycle of consultations held with this team. This cycle allowed us to address a number of pending issues. In terms of the holding of the 25th cycle of negotiations, the Syrian National Committee 10 months ago welcomed a visit from the team to Syria. The Director General did not publish this last summer. Syria has a reservation as regards the exercise of its sovereign right to not allow access for a member of the team. But this should not be used as a pretext to prevent the work, to postpone the work of the team. And this should not be used either to skew the cooperation with the organization. It is not logical that the work of the team be postponed because of one single person or one member of the team. President, the fact-finding mission has published new reports, including the two most recent ones on the two alleged incidents in Mare and End Kafazita. But this does not change our position, our constant position when faced with the substantial inconsistencies and faults in the work of this fact-finding mission, who did not respect the rules contained in the Convention. This mission does not respect either essential reference criteria, including the methods for gathering information and samples. This mission depends on open sources and information provided by terrorist groups, including White Helmets, this terrorist organization. Moreover, this mission has during its inquiries, it sometimes does not notify the Syrian government. They can insist on continuing with this erroneous method. This is why this report was written, and this is a stain on the reputation and the credibility of the organization, including on the report on the alleged incident in Douma. We are concerned by the manipulation of reports of the fact-finding mission. Some states in the West are exerting pressure on this mission. For proof of this, the US know in advance the conclusions of this mission before even the reports are published. We've all seen this, and we've all heard this in the statement made by the delegation of the United States during the most recent session of the Security Council. The United States is interfering in the work of the fact-finding mission. Thus, Washington has already sent experts to The Hague to attend a meeting with the fact-finding mission, and this is to exert pressure on the mission and to ignore and delete some parts of the report and replace it with other information. I would also like to recall the fact that there are guidelines that the fact-finding mission has received from representatives of the organization in order to delete the reports from two inspectors on the alleged incident in Douma. These two experts spoke of this incident, and they said that it was a theater. It was just a spectacle staged, and this information was replaced by non-scientific and illogical facts. This didn't stop there. The fact-finding mission until the postponement of the report on these 5 incidents. These 5 incidents for which the Syrian government had asked for an inquiry into in 2017. And this is despite the fact that they repeated this. This mission was rushing to investigate incidents which were carried out by terrorist groups to tar the image of the Syrian government. So how can we talk about professionalism, objectivity as regards the work of this mission? President, the Syrian Arab Republic is refusing once again and condemns in the strongest terms the use of chemical weapons by anyone under any circumstances. Syria would like to recall that we acceded to the Chemical Weapons Convention and destroyed its stock of chemical stockpiles in record time. Thus, Syria has respected all of its commitments under this convention. Syria reaffirms that it is cooperating in a positive fashion with the OPCW, despite this atmosphere of suspicion which is reigning because of the erroneous methodology and imbalanced approach of the Technical Secretariat of the OPCW. We do hope that the OPCW will be able to rectify this and that this organization will focus on the technical nature of its work, because this is a real pillar of the non-proliferation regime. This organization is a very important framework for multilateralism. The role of the OPCW should not deny rights of the member states illegally. This organization should be focusing on this destruction of chemical arsenals of member states. The United States of America remains the only state that has not finished destroying its chemical weapons so far. Moreover, the OPCW should not call into question the commitments of its member states, its states parties. This organization should undertake efforts so that states who have not yet acceded to the organization do so, including Israel, who have a chemical weapons arsenal. Thank you very much for your attention. I thank the representative of the Syrian Arab Republic for his statement.